Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk, or I should say good morning. We came to you yesterday when the Cleveland Metropolitan School District announced that they had been given a $20 million gift from the MacKenzie Scott Foundation. MacKenzie Scott is an author, a philanthropist. You may know her as being the former wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, but more than that, she is a philanthropist. In the past month, she has given away nearly $2 billion to school districts, to agencies all over the country, more than 300 gifts of various amounts. And we're happy to announce that Cleveland, the Northeast Ohio area, was the recipient of not just the Cleveland Metropolitan School District gift, but also the Akron Urban League was given $2.4 million as a part of that charitable giving. And for an organization like the Cleveland Urban League, that is the largest single donation or gift that agency has ever received. We're going to bring in now Alyssa Shively. She is with the Akron Urban League. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
We want to thank you for joining us. Before we get into the details of the gift, which is astronomical, let's make sure people understand there are urban leagues all over the country. There's a Cleveland Urban League, there's an Akron Urban League. What is it that an Akron Urban League does? What is basically the mission of the Akron Urban League?
So the mission is to improve the quality of lives of the citizens of Summit County, and that's particularly African Americans through self-reliance. So we're here to uplift the community through a variety of our programs.
And I want you to walk us through maybe what are some of those programs, what is maybe the biggest area of need, and how is the Akron Urban League able to help?
So we have our top programs are workforce development and education, DEI, entrepreneurship. Those are our main programs.
Explain DEI. I'm not familiar with those with that
DEI
acronym.
is diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Very good, very good. So let's now talk about this gift. What's interesting for our viewers, what's interesting about the MacKenzie Scott Foundation is, look, there are grant programs all over the country, organizations that give away millions and billions of dollars, and it's usually a grant process. You have to submit a grant, you have to show the need, you have to show what you're going to use it for. That is not at all how the MacKenzie Scott Foundation works. She and her staff identify agencies on their own throughout the country. You cannot go to the MacKenzie Scott Foundation website and ask for money. It is all done by her foundation. They look up what they feel are organizations, school districts. Sometimes it's the Boys and Girls Clubs. This time around, there were multiple donations to the Girl Scouts all across the country, and they identify and hand out the money. So, Alyssa, this had to be a surprise because just like the Cleveland Metropolitan CEO Eric Gordon said yesterday, they didn't ask for this, they were simply handed it. Give me the reaction of the Akron Urban League when they found out, when you found out, you folks were getting $2.4 million.
So let me give you just a little bit of a backstory. There's 90 affiliates nationally for the Urban League, and 25 of those were selected, and 2 in the state of Ohio. Us, Columbus, got 6.5 million, and we got 2.4 million. But collectively, to all the urban leagues, the 25 that were selected, it was over $100 million. So that's huge. And so
Wow.
our reaction on November 1st was ecstatic. We were so happy that this gift came our way, and really to be recognized for the impact that we're making in Summit County. I mean, that in and of itself is something to really be grateful for, especially this time of year.
And it's got to make you wonder, boy, how did they hear about our need? Like you said, there were a number of urban leagues who were given gifts. It had to make you wonder, just, why us?
And I really don't have a good answer for that, Dan. We put ourselves front and center in front of the community And I think a part of that is our president and CEO, Teresa Legrer. She's very embedded in the community. And I think a light has shined on us for the good work that we do here.
It is a phenomenal gift. Now let's get to the future. It's been just a couple of weeks since you found out $2.4 million is headed your way. What have you folks maybe identified as an area of need, or how are you going to use this money?
Well, specifically, I can't speak to that. That'll be a decision that Teresa and our board makes. But I would say, generally speaking, we'll do this. We'll use the money to grow our programs, which we already talked about, and really focus on the capital needs that we have here.
And it is phenomenal. You folks have been on the front lines, so to speak, of the Jayland Walker issue. There have been a number of walks and movements and discussions. Perhaps does any of this money maybe focus on maybe not so much Jayland Walker, but this continued discussion that happens between the Akron Police Department and the community?
Yeah, I'm not sure I can speak to that, but we are heavily embedded in the community, and we have a relationship with the Walker family, and we will continue to work to move ahead in that area between the police, Jayland Walker's family.
Sure. Alyssa Shively, she is with the Akron Urban League. We always give the final word to our guests here. An incredible gift, largest in the agency's history, the Urban League's history for Akron, $2.4 million. You get the final word here as we close out.
We're just very excited to have been selected. I think we're being recognized for the impact that we've had on the community, and we couldn't be more grateful.
Excellent. Thank you very much for the time. Have a good Thanksgiving. And as you said, this time of year, it is very nice to have something like that to be thankful for. Alyssa, thank you for the time today.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Did just want to wrap this up. Again, we've been watching where this money is falling that's coming from the MacKenzie Scott Foundation. Yesterday, it was the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Today, we're bringing you the Akron Urban League story. Just an incredible foundation, extremely generous. Again, more than, very close to $2 billion being doled out to more than 300 agencies. If we have any other breaking news, any other weather, we're going to bring it to you here on our digital platforms. But remember, our 11 o'clock news just got underway on Channel 43, and our noon news is coming up on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a good Thanksgiving.
19 News. First, fair, everywhere.